What's up, guys? Welcome to another edition of the African Creator, and today we have a very special guest in the house, Fisayo Fosudo.
I'm not VIP, but thank you very much.
I think definitely one of the first questions, one of the things it's one of the first questions I asked Tayo as well. Is like, in this creative industry, the creator space, how did you kind of discover your I don't want to use the generic word passion, but how did you discover like what you wanted to do, or how did you even discover before even then? How did you discover that this is what you wanted to do?
Okay, so I think like every other creative person, there's a tendency for people who are, let's say, creatives, for instance.
Yeah.
Before you sort of start on like a journey, you might have seen someone that is currently doing something and you really like it. Maybe you like sort of start growing some sort of admiration for this craft or whatever it is, and then you're like, I can actually do something in this line, or maybe better or different in my own way. So that was kind of it for me. I saw creators like MKBHD.
Nice.
Then I was like, okay, we don't really have that. We don't really have such, maybe I would say quality or this kind of pizzazz that he has.
Yeah.
And I was like, let me just try. And then I sunk all my life savings into getting gear.
that is one of the. I think about it sometimes. So I'm going to ask questions like a layman, because something about one of your, because I believe that you're in passionate about different things.
Yeah.
Technology happens to be one of the key ones. Weren't you afraid when you started it, like, how am I first of all going to get my hand on the tech? Like, how did you, obviously you're in a position now where brands are going to send you tech and going to send you things to get the stamp of approval or get a review from you. But before then, like, how did you ramp up? Like in the beginning, like were you just collecting people's phones? Like, how did you start that journey?
So I think it was sort of easier for me because we're not so many in the beginning. And this was like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
We weren't many. And I started, so like I said, I sunk my life savings into getting gear.
Yeah.
And I bought like 3 pieces of tech that I made videos about. And then I posted. I think we were able to get like 1,500 subscribers at the time.
Oh, wow.
So I think someone from Techno reached out to me via Twitter, and that was kind of it. He was like, he didn't know I was even in Nigeria. That's, oh wow, this is, the quality was good, and they sent me a phone that I had to return. I used it for like 2 weeks.
Okay.
I went to Ogun State. So then I was actually, doing my NYSC. I was teaching English language to like kids.
Oh, your English is so good.
Is my English good? My English is although, yeah, I did like IELTS and I had like 8 over 9.
Oh, so you're trying to jackpot, right?
No. I am not trying to jackpot. I just
If you
did
see
it.
Fisayo in international airport swearing,
But yeah, if you
a
see
puffy
me,
jacket,
No.
know.
I'm not trying to jackpot.
Yeah.
I'm not trying. I want to.
It's definitive.
Okay, so so during my NYC now, they gave me the phone and I was using it. I was testing it out, and I just used it for a while. Made a video. The video got like 25,000 views. I was like, okay, this is interesting. And then we did another video and another video.
Wait, your first video got 25,000 views?
My first phone review video got 25,000 views. Then
Wow.
I was, we're not many. We're like only 3.
I'll still be like, how do you-
we're only 3 back then. Then they sent me another phone again, and they sent another one. And I remember that. I've been sending emails to Samsung for a while. When those videos came out from Techno, I think someone introduced me to someone that was head of with Samsung West Africa, and then that was how I was like, people have not been seeing my emails all this time. It was when, they saw the videos that we already made, and we started doing something for Samsung, and then we did something for a couple of other companies, and that was kind of how we started.
Okay. So you mentioned that before you got the phone from Techno, you bought some devices. What was the first ever review?
Apple Watch. I reviewed the Apple Watch. I think I got a VR headset again.
Oh, nice.
And I did like a giveaway for it. I can't remember. I think I got an iPhone. I think I got 3 different things. A laptop as well, but I didn't review the laptop.
Oh, okay.
Because I couldn't review the laptop. So I was just practicing my skills. I was watching a lot of tutorials and I was just trying to learn. But at the time I had a job, like I was working for Max, the delivery company.
Yeah.
So that was like my day job.
I've wondered, right? There's a lot of things to talk about on the internet. There's a lot of types of videos to make.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I first decided I wanted to do anything on the internet. I used to do vlogs.
Yeah, I used to see those vlogs.
Please don't look for those vlogs. I'd scrubbed them from the internet. So I think basically people eventually find where they fit. I discovered that like my place wasn't in front of the camera, right?
But in front of the camera now.
It's still hard for me, but we move. But yeah, I eventually discovered kind of what my niche was, right? So obviously you're mostly known for tech, but more recently you've diversified into finance and money and technology and bridging the gap and all of that. So I think let's go back, right? With technology, how like you got inspired by people you watch, but why did you settle on that as the main pillar of your thing?
So, like I mentioned, we were not so many doing this stuff. And I really just wanted to do something. I've always loved tech. Mm-hmm. When I was, like secondary school, I used to draw comics. I used to sell comics.
Nice.
I was a graphic designer as well in university. I majored in graphic design. I took so many tutorials. So I was just really interested in user interface side of graphic design. Yeah. So I did a lot of websites for companies all over like the world, and that was freelancing.
Yeah.
I enjoyed like mobile app design, website design, and the devices that run these things are like tech devices. I loved the tech of design more than I really loved design. But design was a very fruitful career for me, freelancing, because we're earning foreign exchange.
So valuable.
Especially in Nigeria. And I think that was, it was cool that I could do something like that. And, straight out of school, we hired in Max. I was already doing graphic design. And on the job, I learned video production. So I was also, still very passionate about tech. The thing is that when I was still little as well, I think 17, my mom had this iPad, and she never really used it. I was the one using it. I actually edited a video with the thing. I shot a video for church. That video, was the best thing ever that they saw. But now that I see it, it's the worst. It's the worst thing ever. But back then, it was like, oh my God, I can't believe you can do this. And it just made sense in my head that this is something that I would really, really want to do. So, with the love of tech, with the love of design, with the love of spending all my time on the computer, it just made sense that I would review this stuff, review tech items. And like we mentioned, the Techno thing, the Samsung thing. Why I chose to dwell on this niche, is 2017, 2018 kind of started being consistent. Why I chose to dwell on it was because I always like to put content in buckets of values. If you are making comedy skits, you are providing entertainment value. You're making people laugh. That's the value you provide. If you are making inspirational content, like those motivational speeches that people cut and edit, that's some inspirational value. People come there, they see that you are the authority in this niche, and then I kind of think that my content is educative in a way, even though I try to embed some sort of entertainment in it. So I'm just trying to teach people about the phone, all the specs, what the specs mean. If you want to buy this phone, these are the things you should look out for. We don't, I think before this podcast, we were talking about like iPhones, why I have not been able to. I tried reviewing like iPhones. The thing is, they only work well when you get the product pre-release.
Yeah.
So thankfully, we have Nigerian brands that are willing to give reviewers like me the product before they launch. So that way, I get to experience them, and I post the video on launch day. So everybody is looking for the phone. There's a huge hype on launch day. Everybody's searching for the same thing that day. So when they see your video, it just makes sense that they are educated by this video that's pushed out. But if for the iPhone, the new iPhone just came out, it's 1 million naira. We have people that want to sell that I've been making inquiries.
Yeah.
But why? I mean, I'm going to eventually. I might get it, but why will I spend 1 million on a phone and I'm not going to? It's not going to make sense in the end. Like when I make a video, people have seen all the other videos that were pre-release, but for like the Nigerian brands that we have or the brands that are in Nigeria, we're able to get them pre-release. We're able to do those videos. So I just said, you know what, I'll only focus on like making the reviews for the Nigerian audience that watch. It wasn't the best journey like for the YouTube AdSense and like that side. Then finance came along when 2020 the beginning of 2020 was like the world was the world was shaky in a way. I don't want to say the word, but there was a thing that happened in the world that we all know. And we all know that in February stocks crashed a lot. It was so crazy. Before then, I wasn't really the most responsible with money. And although I used to read books, I read more like self-help books. I read more books about like my actual skill, like learning about tech videos, magazines and stuff like that, or like maybe design tutorials. But I got back to a book that my uncle gave me, which was The Millionaire Next Door by, I can't remember the name of the author, I think Thomas J. Stanley. So I read that book. I read that book like twice, and money just made sense in my head. I did budgeting. I saw all the gaps or where money was going a lot, and I said, okay, you know what? I'll save 70% of every single thing I make and lock it away. I will not have access to this. So I did that throughout 2020, and I was shocked. Like at the end of the year, I think Tayo can testify. Or like I had money. I can't say the amount, but I had the money I had. I was even shocked.
Wow.
So in January, I just said I was going to go to Dubai, and I went to get I get my camera. I got a lot of things. It was so shocking that I could actually do this, and that's because I just read one book. So when I was there, like in Dubai, we did. Although 6 months before that time, I was planning to do like something about finance. Yeah. I wrote a list of fintech apps that were in Nigeria, and the one that actually helped me. So I wrote those apps down. I was trying to do this. I was just trying to research more and more, and I got more into like the finance aspect of YouTube. I started watching a lot of finance YouTubers. And then it just was like, this is fun to watch. It's educative and it's very entertaining. Money is boring normally. Like money talks are it's just boring. All those things about like saving money is stressful. Yeah. But I wanted it to be entertaining and educative again. And I made my first video when I was there. And that video got like 100,000 views. Wow. And he made a lot of money too. And I was like, Then I made another one, and that one also made a lot of money. And I'm like, okay. Then I started making more videos.
Fair enough.
And like this year, we just 4x'd everything that we made last year. That I saved everything. It was like 4 times more. And I'm like, okay.
So I think part of it is that obviously with the two sides, right? We see how with the technology side that's kind of been like a childhood passion.
Yeah, sure.
Right. And then the second one with the money was born out of, just like a necessity to kind of understand what was happening around us, you know, with your reference to like 2020 and all of that.
And also to make money.
And also to make money. So I guess those are the factors. Interesting.
Yeah. What's your biggest issue with being a creator?
So I think the biggest issue with being a creator is this. Well, nowadays I'm experiencing a lot of, I won't say burnout, I'll say pressure. Because first of all, I don't even want my work to drop. Like, I don't want the quality of my work to drop at all. It takes me like 2-3 days to write a script for one video. The thing is, like, it's pressure to keep the work at the same level. Yeah. Let me just put it that way, because
when you say level, do you mean quality or quantity?
Quality. Well, also I could use some help with my quantity, to be honest. But
yes, you can definitely do both videos.
It takes me 2 days to script.
Yeah.
And it takes sometimes 3 days to script. Sometimes it might be more, because I'm experiencing like a device, or I'm trying to read like 50 articles on like the e-naira, for instance. And yeah, like, you know, we did a video on there was like a prediction that $1 will become $1 will become 900 naira by the end of the year. That video got like 200 or something thousand views, and people watched that video. People were calling me and asking questions. Even like my former bosses, you know, they were just like they were trying to.
I also asked you questions.
So they were trying to like understand. Yeah, and you know, all these articles, very very good articles, but people are not going to sit down and read all these articles. So it just made sense that I'm putting everything together in like a 15 minutes clip and just presenting it in a very graphically, you know, and entertaining, interesting way. So yeah, like that took me 12 hours to edit that video. I sat down for 12 straight hours editing. You know, yes, we have an editor too that will help with the other stuff, but how many things do I want to do? Yeah, I'll say like scaling is also an issue. Trying to keep up to the pressure and the quality is also an issue. And yeah, maybe hiring my help. I don't know yet. I did like interviews with a couple of people, but those are like the major things that, you know, I'll say maybe I sort of like need.
I think with that, right, it's a thing I've noticed with a lot of creators, which is everyone starts as freelance, right? Everyone starts as this one man, edit script, blah blah blah, and then you just realize at some point you have to scale, and it's the toughest thing
it's very
to let go, right? Because you feel like it's my voice, it's my this thing, but I think.
But like, how do you think I should, like, for me, who is going to script my own thoughts?
I think
not script your thoughts. Sorry.
Okay.
Not script your thoughts, but I think you have to, and this is something that's not discussed enough, but maybe it's because of kind of the society we grew up in, where I feel like it's very important to have like internships and have people who kind of get groomed in your system, right? In order for, I don't think it's possible for you to hire, especially in this kind of creative field, I don't think it's possible to just hire someone and then they get your voice immediately. I think they have to kind of soak up. Yeah, exactly. They have to clone you in some way, right? Obviously, you want them to bring their own creativity and all of that, but in order for you to work for, maybe not me, but as creators, you and Tayo, you'd probably need somebody to understand like your nuances, your thought processes. There's so much more that you do behind the scenes that influence what comes out, right? And in order for that to come out, you need somebody to come in, and that's why I think creative internships is like, and these very days, like, underrated.
The behind the scenes stuff has become so much more now. You know, I'm spending time reading a lot now. I'm spending time writing a lot now. I barely even have time to touch like the computer and say I want to edit something. So yeah, like,
I think I totally can relate. I think one of the problems with being like a creator, especially for YouTube, if you constantly have to keep making videos, is everything rests on you. You know, it's not like you're at the top of this ladder and then, you know, normal work system, like you're at the top, then you have sub managers, and this one is like everything is just on you. Everybody's on top of you. So you have to, even if you're hiring somebody, you have to, like, how will I even explain it now? basically everything you do, those people have to be able to maybe scale it up or replicate it the same way you
Or
do
even
it.
better.
Yeah.
Or even better. And as a creator, like if Fisayo doesn't script something, there's a way he speaks when he's scripting something. There are things he would say. If somebody else is even taking over that and scripting it, they might not really be able to reflect that exact voice. So it's very complicated, but and also it even makes it worse when you're in Nigeria with all the many other institutional problems.
Well,
outside.
I mean, I
But
think
it's possible.
It's possible.
No,
It
it's
will
possible.
take
No,
time.
definitely possible. It just
It
takes
will
time.
take time, but you have to do it because it's unavoidable growth. Unless you don't want to grow, right? It's unavoidable growth. Even if you kind of slow down in the pace at which you are going, right? Because of the repetition, because of the years of videos, because of what you've done, you're just going to be growing. Even if the growth has slowed down, it will still be growing. So in order to prepare for, there's no way you can continue to do
Sure,
everything.
definitely.
You have to just find, the capacity in different people, and I think it's something that can be done, and I think it's something that a lot more creators have to, look
I think
into.
when I started, like I took a course even on like personal branding, which the whole idea, back then was more or less like there's a business, and then there's personal brand.
Yeah.
And the personal brand is such that the onus rests on you. You have to like show up all the time. Not all the time, but like you have to show up. Even if there's a team, it's more or less like they are representing you. So the name is now the brand.
Yeah.
Nothing must happen to you. Or there must be no, I don't know what to say, like maybe controversy or whatever it is. It should just be like you showing up and delivering. But yeah, like getting people to scale that up, especially in an industry that is not like banking or a standardized thing where there's like set rules or regulations or anything. This is like we wanted to have fun. We just wanted to make videos, and now we have all this burden of responsibility. So
I feel you. I mean, okay, so we'd like to do something here every week where we select like a creator of the week.
Okay.
Basically somebody who would like to put like a spotlight on somebody who is in the creative space, who makes maybe interesting videos for YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, whatever platform. So this week, that honor is on you.
Oh,
who do you think? Yeah, it could be anybody. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
It doesn't
okay.
have to be. Yeah, African.
It has to be Africa.
There's a guy called Tech Overwatch. He tears down this like Nigerian specific targeted phones. He tears them down, opens up the phone,
really?
and shows you everything inside. So if the marketers are lying, you will find out on his channel.
I've never heard of that.
If he finds like sometimes the smartphone manufacturer will say something like, oh, the phone has a liquid cooling system. So what's a liquid cooling system? It's like a copper in the phone. I think the iPhones have it, or Samsungs. So it's like a copper with a little bit of water. I think it's like a drop of water inside. But funny enough, that drop of water can cool I think the battery or something to make it not explode because you are playing heavy games. The specs, the processors and the specs are very, very, very heavy. So they might make the phone heat, but the liquid cooling system will make it like cool down and perform as optimally as it possibly can. So yeah, he does that. I think I made a video on one of Infinix's new phones last week, and then he made a video. He opened the phone, although I haven't watched it, but I'm sure it to be interesting. Nice. So yeah,
nice.
His name is Tech Overwatch.
Yeah,
he does that. I think the one I also wanted to highlight was okay, now that I'm actually blank. I think I wanted to highlight somebody from like doing finance stuff. His name is Eniola Tito. He does movie reviews as well, and he also does like finance. He does like reviews finance apps and just like talks about like news or something.
I have a question. As you said that now, how are you able to make finance interesting? Like even like how do you come up with? I won't say how was your process though, but finance is very boring. Like everyone has finance now in my head, I'm just like numbers. I I practically got F9, all the maths I did in university. I have to do them again. So I'm like, how do you come across and then make, what's going through your mind when you're like maybe writing your final script? How do you make it interesting?
So I think if you want to explain something, you probably should have like a huge an in-depth understanding of the thing. If you want to, I think there's a saying that if you want to actually make videos, like YouTube videos, for instance, you shouldn't use, or if you want to speak in public, let me just say, you shouldn't use words that are so complicated. You want to actually make it simple words. And if you can explain something so complicated in simple words, it actually carries more weight than somebody that's trying to speak grammar and like, that I think. So for me, like again, I read so many articles on something before I'm actually even going to write about it. Yeah. There are so many resources in Nigeria that, some of them are paid as well. And, there are investment research pages. There are pages that actually review the data from banks. There's open banking. There are things that there's open banking, which the CBN just released the regulation on, whereby our data in the bank is our own data. We have the right to share it with whoever we want. So now open banking opens up the bank to fintechs. Of course, the banks, they might not agree to it. However, they will make money from it. So it makes sense that the banks open themselves to fintechs. So fintechs will use our data, make money, also make money for the banks. So that's that's one of the concepts that you can try and research and understand. However, if you read the regulations, it's so much words. You can't really understand it. But now I've explained to you and you kind of already understand.
Yeah, I think it's important because it's definitely important to kind of break down those seemingly complex terms. And personally, I've watched a couple of the videos and I enjoy it because it's easier. It's easier to grasp. It's easier to understand. A lot of the videos you did during the CBN's deregulation of crypto and all of that was really insightful. So I think it's an amazing genre, and I look forward to more videos. You should make more. So if you need to hire those editors, please do. But I think this has been a very insightful episode. I thank you for coming through. The conversations have been just very interesting because, like I said, I think with the most important thing is that people who are trying to make videos, we're trying to grow a community here. People who are trying to make videos usually don't kind of realize that sometimes in order to find your niche, you just have to lean on stuff that you're actually interested about. I always believe that there's enough audience for whatever. You just have to find engaging ways to kind of present it. So it's interesting. Thank you for watching another episode of The African Creator. You can follow us on The African Creator Pod on Instagram. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I think this is the best I've ever done. This sign out. So thank you guys for listening, and till next week. Bye.